Second movie of the day on day two of my coverage of the London Film Festival, and I just experienced something quite wonderful. Those things you hear the elite talking about when they're at things like the Cannes or Venice Film Festival, the standing ovation. I was just lucky enough to experience my first standing ovation live, and yeah, it was quite wonderful. The movie in question, you've clicked on the video, you know what I'm going to talk about. It's Superman, the Christopher Reeve Story. When I tell you there was not a dry eye in the audience, this is one of the documentaries of the year. It's going to be one that sticks with people. The movie is so perfectly paced. It knows exactly what part of Christopher Reeve's life to focus on and when to focus on them, which is obviously, I'm stating the obvious here, that sort of baseline requirements for being a good documentary, know what to show and when to show it. But that's also the simple beauty of a documentary, is that when it does it well, it's so monumentally powerful. And it showed his life as a movie star for the sort of first act, which you would expect. Then tragedy strikes, as we all know, and he becomes paralyzed. But for the vast majority of this movie, it chose to show him as a real Superman, not a man in leotard and a cape flying around, but a Superman, a real hero and an advocate for the paralyzed and disabled communities of the world, and his fight to try and regain movement, which, he got some way there, and we all know that, he died at the age of 52. And it really was wonderful in showing his circle of friends, which included the likes of Robin Williams and Glenn Close and Whoopi Goldberg, his training as an actor, his being cast as Superman. It felt like a beautiful chronicle of Christopher Reeve's life, and showed a part of it which is often not talked about enough. And it showed a side of his life which we often don't get to see with these famous people, which is what happens behind closed doors. The two women in his life who were so instrumental in helping him get through his both life with his children, life on the road, and then the second woman, Dana, who helped him when he was paralyzed. And listen, if you've ever lost someone, if you've ever had some sort of someone in your life who's had a tragic accident, this movie is it's really gonna hit you like a whirlwind. It's I'm stuttering because I've just come out of the theatre here, and as I said, I cried 2 or 3 times during the course of this movie. So I wanted to give you my sort of raw reaction. It's very hard to get all analytical and somewhat pretentious in reviewing a movie like this. This is raw emotion, what you're seeing now, and it's a wonderful, wonderful film. If I was being really finicky, the only thing I would maybe point out as a negative is it did end ever so slightly abruptly. After Christopher Reeve passed and after his wife Dana Reeve passed, and the children are left alone, it would have been nice to see more of what happened to them as adults and how they coped with it. It showed what they're doing and that they're continuing the foundation work. But I don't know, maybe ending on a bit more of a hopeful note, although, ultimately the note was hopeful. Again, I'm mincing words here. I'll say this. The score will say more than my talking ever will. This is as close to perfect as a movie can get, despite that ever so slightly flawed ending. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's one of the films of the year. It's made my top 10. It's absolutely one you need to track down and see. And I'm sure it's going to go mainstream. It's freaking Superman's story, for Christ's sake. Of course it's going to go mainstream. So let me know what you thought of it once you've seen it. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. There is a subscribe button for you guys here. Another review from the London Film Festival to watch up here. Load of choice. If you don't want to watch this particular video, there's a choice on the channel for you to watch now. So do all of that, and I'll be back in a few hours with another video from the London Film Festival. Bye for now.